All right, what's going on, guys? We got AT&T Byron Nelson this week, and you look at the top, there are so many good names. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler, embarrassment of riches, 10-9, as he should be leading out there, a guy from the Dallas area, and there you have it here. This is just outside Dallas in McKinney, Texas. This course was played last year for the first time, and a big thing was obviously shots gained coming into the green, shots gained approach. That was the biggest factor in deciding a winner, according to Rick Rungood over at rickrungood.com. So think about what that factors in. A great iron player in Scotty Scheffler, he should be up there. You see Justin Thomas up there as well in DFS at 10-6. So there's some really good names that you should look out for. Dustin Johnson into the top 4 to 5 as well. I would start, when we're looking at value, when we're looking at players, I'm going to start with Will Zalatoris. Okay, this guy has spent time in Texas. Okay, he still lives in the area, in the Dallas area, and I want to talk to you about 9,400, why he is such a good value. He's played the course 30 times already. I spoke with his caddy, Ryan Goebel, and Ryan said that iron play, it rewards good iron play. And with the winds up this week, the winds are going to be up. It's going to firm out those greens. And so good, precise iron shots are going to be a huge factor. When you look at what Will Zalatoris brings to the table, he's second in shots gained approach, which is definitely what you need. Shots gained tee to green, he's second. So ball striking, this guy is going to get you everything you need at this golf course. It's pretty open, so you're not going to have a lot of trouble. But this guy knows how to score, put himself in position to make those birdies over a long stretch. It was a low number that won last year, as we know, and we're going to expect that again this year. So keep an eye out on what Will Zalatoris can do. His caddy said that he's hitting the ball really well at the moment, very confident. The winds are going to pick up big time. Really, Thursday, Friday, they're going to be a 13 to 15 sustained. So look out for that. He's used to it. He knows the course, and also he knows the winds around there in that part of Texas. That's Will Zalatoris. I would look next to Tommy Fleetwood, and Tommy at 9,000. I actually think he's a good value when you look at what he's done recently. T14 at the Masters in windy conditions, T10 at Heritage, right? I know he missed the cut at Zurich, but I love what he brings to the table with wind. I spoke with his caddy, Ian Finnis, and Ian said when the winds are picking up, that's really going to play into our hands during a week like this. It's going to be a big advantage. Knowing how well he's played in the past, think about U.S. Opens in the wind. At Shinnecock, his iron play was so good when he shot 63 that day on that Sunday, tied Johnny Miller. So this is a guy who's very comfortable in windy conditions, and I like what he brings to the table. In a format like this, it's not going to be tree lines. It's not going to be real difficult off the tee. It's going to be more approach coming in. How can you attack this course? I love what Tommy Fleetwood brings to the table. So there's Tommy at 9,000. I would look at Cameron Champ. Cameron Champ's at 8,000. This guy's got some really good momentum coming in. Tied for 10th at the Masters. Okay, very windy conditions, as you guys know. Tied for 6th at Mexico. Remember, he was in that final group with John Rahm, so he kind of tasted what it's like, get a sense of the pressure and the feelings of what it's like on Sunday recently, right in his last start. So that's what he did there. And also his distance, I think that's going to be huge. A course like this is very wide open for the most part. He's first in driving distance at over 335 per drive, at least per measured drive. This is really impressive stuff because he can go after it. Think about the courses he played well. In Mexico, it was pretty wide open. At the Masters, as we know, you don't have to be super accurate. You just need to get it out there and use your distance. And we see guys like Bubba Watson win there. So think about how he can take advantage of a course like this, low scores. That distance is going to be massive for a player like Cameron Champ, and the confidence, of course, of being in that final group going in his last start. The other guys I'm looking at, there's some really good ones here. Ryan Palmer at 7,400 is a good one. He's got the course record. Okay, you got a guy who's got the course record, Ryan Palmer, who shot 61 here about 10, 11 years ago. I spoke with him about that on my podcast. I said, hey, what was that round like? And he said it was just confidence. It was just seeing the greens, being comfortable with his approach shots, being comfortable off the tee on that golf course at TPC Craig Ranch. And he likes it. He's played it 20 to 25 times outside of tournaments. So he's really gotten comfortable with a course like that. It's not too far, something like 20, 25 minutes from his house. So this guy, it's a little bit of home court advantage, right? He knows the course a lot better than other guys do. Only the second year this course has been used. He is 204th in shots gained putting on the PGA Tour this year in measured rounds. I would actually look at a course like like this, that he knows a lot better. And you would expect, right, that his putting would be better on a course with more familiarity, right? That's a big factor, I think. I think he's going to putt better in the friendlier confines of TPC Craig Ranch. So keep an eye on what he can do this week. I know at Zurich, he tied for 18th, missed the cut at the Masters and Players, so that could give you pause. But this guy knows this golf course, and I think that's going to be an important factor for this week when you look at Ryan Palmer. Great value at 7,400. Outside of that, Matt Neesmith. Neesmith at 7,300, I think is a really good value when you look at what he's done. Tied for 4th at Zurich. This guy's on a heater, okay? Tied 12th at RBC. Tied for 3rd at the Valspar back in March. This guy's been knocking on the door in every type of event imaginable. Tied for 31st at Wells Fargo. Remember what he did? He shot 68 on Sunday. A lot of other players, it was a very difficult winds and difficult rain conditions, and he sludged through it and shot 68. I love the momentum he has. I talked with him and I asked him, how are you feeling? And he said the game feels good, and he feels like this course at TPC Craig Ranch, after playing it, matches up well with his game. So let's keep an eye on what he can do this week. I think it's 7,300. Neesmith is in a really good position. If you're looking for a player kind of on the fringe, that would bring a lot of value to your team, I think this is a really good one with Matt Neesmith. James Hahn at 6,600. I think you cannot overlook what he could bring to the table. Played very well at the Wells Fargo last week. I think it was top 5 going into Sunday. He tied for 9th in the end, right? But think about the confidence he's going to take from a week like that. It's not been a great season for James Hahn. He hasn't had a ton of top 10s when you look throughout the lineup. But you've got to believe that coming off a very tough course, if you can play well on a tough course in tough conditions like he did at TPC Potomac and deliver and play well through 4 days, you've got to imagine that he's going to do well at a course that's a lot more wide open, that's going to reward good iron play, is going to reward good putting. And I think that's something that he can write some momentum in going into this week at TPC Craig Ranch. So keep an eye out. 6,600, I think that's a really good deal to get James Hahn. So we'll keep an eye out on that as well. And let's end it there. Unless, I'm going to throw Matt Wolf in, 7,200. I talked with him about his shot shape last week there at TPC Potomac. Played really well, finished in the top 30. And I asked him, what's the key for you? And he said, obviously hitting a tight draw. That's a really important thing. This is a course where he can do that at TPC Craig Ranch. And we're going to see how he performs this week. I like what he does. He says he can work the ball both ways with his driver. That's kind of his key. So this is also a course that allows you to do that. Wolf really coming in with some confidence. He was in the mix, kind of in the fire of it on the weekend. He got himself into position, played really well to get there on Saturday. And we'll see how he goes from here. But I like what he brings to the table. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you subscribe when you get a chance. Thanks. Bye.